This is Kian, and this is Concentration. Today I have Aiden Woods and Chris Thorson. Our mystery guest is currently missing in action.
It's tragic.
It's actually very upsetting.
If I burst into tears at some point during this, just know that's why.
There seems to be an outbreak of the flu going around where we currently are, and it's tragic. Most people have been taken out. I seem to be the only one that is still standing.
I am sickly, but I'm still here.
I am also sickly, but still here.
Can you hear it in his voice? I'm still sickly. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go on with some questions. I had planned questions for our secret duo here, but I will see what I can do.
Maybe some other time.
So,
arrange something else.
Who is your favorite musical artist? Tell me that. And then give me like 12 reasons. I'll count.
12 reasons?
I'll count.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do that.
I could do that. Definitely Tyler, the Creator, over any musical artist, because he kind of strays away from, like, the normal, like, so-called rap, but he does it in, like, a way to where, like, I genuinely enjoy it, because usually, like, hard rap and, like, that's, no, like, absolutely not. But with him, he, like, tells a story. Like, all of his albums have, like, a storyline. Like, such as his, like, recent album, it's about how he falls in love with a young man, but then this man is with a woman, and the entire album he's, like, just let be free, come out of the closet, and then Tyler, the Creator, realizes that, like, this boy isn't good for him. Like, he shouldn't be with him. So then the second part of the album is about how he's straying away and how he knows this person is not right for him and how he ultimately just wants to become friends, which is the last song called Are We Still Friends? Also, I've watched many interviews and different things about him, and he's very upfront. He really doesn't care what anyone else thinks but himself. Because
Is he gay? I didn't know that.
He is bisexual. And, like, there's also this, like, little bit that goes around where him and Jaden Smith act like they're, like, boyfriends, but they're, like, not.
Okay.
But it's just, like, kind of like a little ongoing
That's
bit.
kind of funny.
So
I haven't heard of Jaden Smith in, like, a really long time. Is he still, like, going?
he's making music instead of, like, pursuing acting. But, like,
Just
Will
probably
Smith
good.
also started his career a little bit on music as well when he first came out. So you do never know the future for Jaden Smith. He could go back into acting.
That's like a quote for this.
You
never
never
know
know.
the
You
future
really never know.
of Jaden Smith. He could come and do anything, anytime.
It's true.
Also, with Tyler, the Creator, he seems to not forget where he came from in a way, because you know how
He
some
always
people,
knows where he came
like
from
he
and where he's going.
he is very, like, he's a very giving back person. He likes being with his friends. Like, even in some of his songs, he talks about, like, how him and his friends, like, when they started their original rap group, Future, like, they didn't care. Like, they were like, we get famous, we don't get famous, we don't get famous. One gets more famous, don't care. One gets less famous, don't care. Like, kind of like, in the end, nothing really should matter as long as we're friends. And I like how he does that, and he's still friends with all of them today, which I think is a really
Who's
cool
in that group?
concept. There's multiple people. Frank Ocean was in that group. Earl Sweatshirt.
Earl Sweatshirt.
Domo Genesis, I think his name is. They have, like, a lot of weird names in there. But Frank Ocean is also a very popular artist who is, in fact, gay. And actually, even Tyler, the Creator, like, he says, like, when you're around him, you can't get offended. Because he will offend you no matter what. So, like, such as...
Frank Ocean?
Like, no, Tyler, the Creator, like, will offend you. Like, if you were, like, hanging out with him, like, he'll just say, he'll make fun of you. But that's just because, that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll make fun of Frank for being, like, he'll call him gay. But, like, Frank knows, like, oh, I've grown up with this guy all my life. Like, I know that this is just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
know some people like that. I'm, like, probably one of them. question for the mystery guest. Good answer. Thank you. I hope you feel better. Should I release like who this is? I feel like everyone already knows.
I feel like a lot of people already do know.
Well, for the one person who's like, really, I don't know who this is, Joe Torres was supposed to join us today. And I texted him and I was like, hey, are you coming? He was like, no. And I went, why?
Well, he said he was going to come.
Yeah, he was like, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So I like plugged him on the gram and then he was
Yeah.
like,
Could have told us a little earlier there, Joe.
Told us like 30 minutes.
well, I feel like he was planning on coming and then
Yeah.
like he woke up and he was like,
He probably like wasn't allowed because
No, he definitely wasn't allowed. I feel like.
I don't think it's his fault.
well, it's okay. I mean, she's probably made the right decision. He'd be up here like,
Yeah, we'd hear him.
That'd be, like,
constantly
gross, like,
coughing.
He'd probably puke.
He'd probably gurgle like a little.
Gurgle?
Yeah, like
glug, glug, glug. Wait, you can gurgle. You have water here.
I can. You want to hear that?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to hear that? Okay.
That's what if someone like came up to you and that's all they could do? Like they were trying to
Gurgle.
talk to you. That'd be kind of scary. Like one day you wake up and all you can do is gurgle.
Yeah, that's like the worst case scenario. Like I'd rather wake up
Cursed.
like blind or deaf. Like, but that's beyond.
That's
Gurgle?
a really good question.
like
So, if you had to be like mentally or like or like physically
Impaired.
impaired
in
in
some way?
some way, what would it be?
definitely not deaf. I could not go
Deaf.
without or deaf. I could not go without hearing. But
Well, what all
Yeah.
are my options?
Like blind, deaf, mute. Like I don't know, like no arm. I don't know. I didn't really think about it.
Well, because that's like. Because I
No.
definitely don't want to be blind. and
Yeah,
I definitely
blind
don't
is
want to be
scary.
deaf.
blind would be.
But if
awful.
you had to be blind or deaf, I would be deaf. Because I couldn't go without seeing. That'd be so scary.
yeah,
I
probably.
guess, yeah.
Because you have to like go from the point that like you wake up one morning and you can't see anymore.
Oh,
That's like
yeah. That's.
imagine like Mario. Has that, he ever told you that story of when
Yeah,
he woke
like,
up
he
like
woke
that?
up
And he was like,
deaf.
Dad, I can't hear in my left ear. And he was like, what?
Well,
Oh,
He's like, oh well.
poor boy.
No, they like figured it out. He's deaf.
like the next.
I don't know. I think I'd rather like lose an arm or
Yeah, I
something.
think I would also. I'd rather.
Well, I feel like that's a little bit like we have to put the like the physical ones, other that aren't like like the like
it's kind of a different thing.
because like
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna want to lose an arm rather than like being deaf.
Yeah.
yeah, that is true.
So I guess the question is, out of blind, deaf, mute, or like I don't know, that's out of those three, which one would you take? But you have to be like keep in mind that with being like mute comes being deaf.
Oh, well.
Well, no, not really. I meant being.
So would you rather be deaf or deaf and you also can't talk?
No, I meant like with being deaf. Sometimes it's like you've never heard yourself speak, so
Yeah.
it's hard to talk. I meant that, but I mixed up the way I said
I
it.
would maybe go mute.
Yeah, because then you could just
Yeah.
like
You just-
sign language. You like did that the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. It was actually very difficult, but only because I had spoken before.
But like, yeah, like if you physically can't, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
Like, well, it is an issue.
And people might
but
like you more because you're not like annoying.
You
like,
just
talking.
don't talk. You just. I feel like people
Kinda
wouldn't
cool.
want to be
I could
with
be like,
you
I
'cause
could be
they'd
in
be
choir.
like. It would just sound like.
What do you
this.
think they'd do if like someone who was mute was like, "Can I join choir?"
Well, they wouldn't be able to say it. They'd have to text it to that.
Or
person.
hold up a sign, light bright.
And little signs that are like, "Ooh." I'm sorry if anyone here is like offended. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
make fun of anyone that can't talk. I just realized that this could be like awful. I'm sorry. So please don't demonetize me for this. Thank you.
Well,
If anyone does have an issue,
at
please
least we
talk
don't.
to me
At
about
least we don't really have to worry about the deaf people.
it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Chris.
Or like the Amish. Like we could talk about the Amish. I'm not really gonna.
I guess we could. Like, what are they gonna do?
I don't really have any.
Like, I don't think they could do anything.
I mean, unless we like start recording these by messenger pigeon, they won't be able to like hear us.
Yeah, but if they did hear us, they'd probably like unbuild the house.
In a
Like
matter of like 5
Like in
seconds.
seconds. Like it would be insane.
You know that little scene in Family Guy when
Yeah,
they're
that's
like, building the
exactly
barn?
what I was thinking of. They kept shooting it down. Yeah.
There are so many Chris Thorson things that we could talk about.
I have a lot of interesting aspects of my.
Well, a little bit of a humble brag there.
No.
I do.
Not a good way.
I do have to get it out there though, right away.
Oh, I know. I think I know what you know.
So, one condiment. Rest of your life.
Oh, one comment.
Wait, what'd you think we were
Okay,
doing?
well, honestly,
Wait, actually, no. I want to know what you're thinking.
I'll explain the story because I think this will definitely be good to be on
Okay,
video.
okay.
But let me go with the
Okay.
condiment thing first. So I actually thought about it when I watched the first one. I was like, okay, because like there was one you didn't mention, which was syrup,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like syrup, like if you could only use syrup, like you could use that on like a lot more things than
It's
you
true.
would think.
It's
Like
true.
pancakes, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, even like a burger, like a little bit of
It wouldn't be
syrup,
too
like it
bad.
wouldn't be terrible.
I've
Yeah.
seen like the IHOP burgers with like the waffle
I've not.
bun. That might not be real. I
Or
might
they-
have just,
or
I might have
they-
just like dreamt
They
about
have
that.
like chicken and waffle sandwiches where
Yeah.
you put
Yeah.
syrup on
Yeah,
it like
that's
that.
like I
That's
think
good.
it wouldn't be an awful condiment, but
The only thing about syrup is I would not be able to have that on my hands. For
Yeah.
Sticky, that is really
Mhm.
annoying.
I agree. I also do like ketchup, like a very, very good amount, and I know that you do not feel the same way about that.
I know that most people like ketchup. That's just
It's like it's okay to like ketchup, but like when you have like a love ketchup,
yeah.
like what I said in the first episode, with like putting ketchup on everything.
I think that's
Everything?
filthy. I think that's
Yeah,
filthy.
that's like excessive.
That's like okay. So I have a interesting story about Ethan Molnar. Ethan Molnar said to me one time that he said, so we were at lunch, like this was like yesterday, and he was like, oh, I got the grilled cheese because anything to do with tomatoes I get instantly, anything, like if it just has it with it,
Anything even remotely related
Yeah,
to
But wait,
tomatoes,
ketchup.
it's gotta
why
have
would you
it.
get the grilled cheese?
because it comes with tomato soup.
That is good though. Grilled
It
cheese,
is,
tomato
but
soup.
like he started dipping it in ketchup.
Wait,
I'm not
like
even-
the tomato
grilled
soup?
cheese.
oh,
No, he took the grilled cheese.
Oh,
And he had a little cup of ketchup as
no.
well. He dipped it in there and then ate it like that.
why
So
would you do that?
yeah, I thought that was a little excessive.
would you do
like
that?
was like, I was like,
I
okay.
mean, if my
Very
man likes
strange.
tomatoes, that's definitely like makes sense though. If you like tomatoes, you're gonna do something like that.
I guess, but
But-
I mean, I don't know. I don't think tomatoes are that.
But like tomato
likable.
soup, he had tomato soup at his reach, but he decided
He
instead
went for the ketchup.
he went for the ketchup.
Yeah,
which
I
is-
guess. I mean, to each their own, but that is a bit strange to me.
Yeah.
But I definitely do things that people are like, why?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're not going into this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but a story I wanted to tell was the day at band camp, which was
Oh,
Oh, we're gonna tell
this
the band
is a
camp
wonderful story.
Okay.
so. I think it was me, Kian. Who else was there? Nick. Nick
I
was there.
believe Nate.
Maybe Nate. And we went to Subway, and I had a foot-long sub. Like, nothing, like, too stomach, like, messing with.
Just
thing.
a regular
Yeah,
old
just like a
sub.
sub. So, we go back to band camp, and I am a snare, so I have a harness on, and we are just basically marching up and down the field.
It's
just
pretty
being-
hot at
yeah.
this point, and like me and Chris both have like these big harnesses on our stomachs, like pushing
And
into
it
us,
pushes on.
and we're like
us.
having like we're both like, oh, pretty gassy.
Yeah, like it was not a good thing. So I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I have to go to the restroom. Like I can't wait any longer.
It's a hot summer
Yeah,
day.
hot summer day. So there was this teacher there that has the only person with the keys to get into the closest entry of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking around. I have my drum off. I'm looking around. I can't find her. It's getting worse and worse. My stomach as like this time is going on, and then like one of the last people I asked, they're like, "Oh, she left." So I was like, "Okay, can I go to the front of the building?" They're like, "Yeah." So I'm running at this point, and I have reached maybe like halfway, and I was like, "I'm going to poop my pants. Like this is going to happen right here." And then it stopped. It went away. So I kept going. I got to the front glass doors of our building, and once I got there, it was game over.
Just fell
Boom,
out.
fell out. And here's I think the worst part. I called Kian multiple times. I was
Yes.
calling everyone.
Okay, so I want you to know like what was going on for me. So, I was a little gassy, but I was like, it'll just pass. So I
Yeah.
was marching, and like, we were at like I think we were at like parade rest or something, and I went to our drum instructor. I went, hey, Chris is calling me. Can I like answer? And he went, if it's really important, he'll call you again. And I went. And so we just kept going, and I was like, he called me again. He was like, well, don't answer it. And then he called me again, and I went, Chris has called me like 5 times, and I went, can I just answer it? And he went, let me answer it. And then
Yes.
Chris, he answers the phone, and he goes, yeah. And Chris goes, you can hear it, like, put Mr. Barbero on the phone.
I was very, like... Personally, when it happened, I thought it was very funny. I was like, this is really funny. Like... But, so I'm on the phone with Barbero, and I'm like, okay, Mr. Barbero, I had an accident, and, like, halfway through the word accident, I was like, I pooped myself. Like, I pooped my pants, and I'm sitting outside the high school, and he was like, okay, hurry back. But then I was like, the issue with that is, my sister and mother are in Lakewood right now. So, I had to sit this hot summer day, poop in my pants, waiting for almost an hour until I finally got picked up. And then I had to wait outside the dentist's office, actually, because my mom had picked me up and my sister was coming to pick me up from the dentist's office because my mom had like a root canal surgery or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting in the car, hot summer day, towel under me, poop in my pants.
You also have to understand that this just wasn't just like, oh, a little bit of poop.
No, this was
Like, slimy.
like liquid.
Like all down the legs. Like
I want you guys to know that,
There's a video of it
so-
somewhere.
yes, you sent the video to us. It was kind of disgusting, but we were at parade rest, and Barbero has my phone, and he's on the top of the podium, and all you hear is, yeah. Like, the entire band is still, like, silent, because we're at parade rest, we can't move, and he goes, yeah. And he goes, really? And he goes, clean yourself up, come back.
And everyone, like, didn't know what happened.
I was like, what is going on?
Everyone was very, like, concerned. And then when I finally came back, I came back, like, maybe, like,
It was like 5 minutes before we had to leave.
Yeah, I was probably gone for, like, 2 hours. And here's the funniest part. I forgot to add this. Another person in the marching band who's a snare, funny enough, actually came and saw me with the poop, like, on me. Tyler Strouser, because, and he was like, what are you doing standing here? I was like, I pooped myself. Like, there's poop it's on
In
the
me
ground,
drawers.
it's on the, yeah, like, it's,
You say in me drawers.
yeah.
and then he was like, oh, and then he's like, ran in there, and then, so I finally got home, I cleaned myself up, everything has been destroyed since that moment, Incinerated, yes. But then I went back, and then actually we had to go to, like, a pool thing for, like, our skit for marching. So, like, that was, like...
I remember that.
So everyone was like, what happened? Like, everyone did not know where I went. Because it was just, like, Barbero's on the phone, and I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's like, oh, my God. But then Alex Morrow finds out and tells the drum line to not tell anyone, but tells them. But then, like, no one told anyone, surprisingly. But then, like, I told some people because I was like, I don't care. I poop myself.
It's like funny.
Like, it
Yeah, it is
happens.
a
I
really
don't
funny
really care.
story.
Like,
And I think because you told everybody, it like did not stay
Yeah.
around as long as it would have.
yeah. People still talk about it to this day, but I just think it's funny. Like, I don't even get, like, offended. Like, I think it's just, like, that's something funny.
I actually ran into you when you came back.
Oh.
I was going to get my parking pass at the school,
I
and
do.
Chris was just standing outside. I was like, hey, Chris. And he was like, dude, I just shit myself.
I do remember that, like, actually. Like, I always, every time I tell the story, I forget about that. But, like, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that did happen. That was crazy. That was, like, that was not expected to happen.
Chris,
Yes.
I do have a question for you.
Oh.
What's your opinion on Baby Nut?
Excuse me?
Baby Nut.
Baby Nut. Well, I personally want to know why they got rid of Mr. Peanut in the first place.
I'm thinking, okay.
I think to create Baby Nut.
Yeah, my
So was it like a marketing?
I think it's
Yes.
because, like, you know,
Yes.
Baby Yoda is, like, going crazy
Yeah.
right now. They're
Yes.
like, oh, Baby Nut.
And there's like nobody cares about Mr. Peanut anymore. He's like an old mascot. We need to change it up.
I
Kids
guess
really
that's
love
true.
Baby Yoda right now. Let's do a baby Mr. Peanut.
I guess that is true. I personally don't. I'm not like opposed to Baby Nut.
Anthony is like
Anthony, oh boy.
Is he very
Anthony
like
Lewis.
opposed, very opposed.
Well,
I'm
We-
like, I don't enjoy the fact that the Baby Nut is. I would definitely rather have Mr. Peanut.
did you hear about the live stream?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen
They
that?
did like how many hours was
It's
it?
like 4 hours.
A 4-hour live stream of Baby Nut.
In in a room.
And there was a man in a motion capture suit running around so they could make this believable
And
little
like
baby.
in like the chat, you could request things for Baby Nut to do.
So, like, he
"Floss,
does, like,
Baby
the
Nut,"
whoa.
and he does like a little.
That's crazy. That's a.
I'll have to show
Who
you.
did that? Like,
I want to know.
who was
would like
there
to
just
know.
like, okay,
Yeah.
let's
Just
do
standing in
this
a-
for a couple hours.
I think it's definitely working though. Is the problem? There's been a lot of hype, you know, and
Yeah, I
discussion about Planters peanuts
Yeah.
lately because of that. So I think it's working.
I think it was a good idea on their part, but I definitely think a lot of people are like,
Annoyed
at the
with
end
it.
of the day, I would prefer Mr. Peanut.
I think they'll probably go back to him and
Like he'll like grow up, kind of
Yeah.
like when I don't remember who said this. It might have been Yuki. Like they were like it'll be like Groot.
Yeah.
Like where he like
Yeah.
he like.
I don't think that was me.
I don't remember who it was, but it was someone that it was.
I remember saying that- When he said, I've been thinking about it a lot, actually. Because Baby Nut, his first words are, "Where's my monocle?"
Mhm.
Which hints at the fact that he remembers everything of what
Yeah.
he used to be.
Yeah.
So why is he acting like this little baby?
I want to know why.
Like, he has
how
104 years
How
of
does he
knowledge.
know how to make a
Yeah.
dolphin noise? Why? I
Yeah,
don't
that
get
was
that.
a little. That was a little like.
That was-
104 years of knowledge, and he is like flossing. Like, he could do amazing things. He's been around since like the First World War. He has
He's
so
like,
much
been
knowledge
through
for
the
our
Great
country.
Depression. Like he's been through everything.
And the first thing
And now he's a baby.
he's a baby, and he might be he's gonna be around for. So if we go by the hypothesis that
And when Mr.
That-
Peanut came out, he originally was Mr. Peanut.
yeah.
There was no Baby Nut.
So if we say that Mr. Peanut's lifespan averages around 104 years.
Well, actually, he died.
I know he died in like a tragic accident,
Uh-huh.
but if we like just form by this hypothesis like that,
Yeah.
this Baby Nut
Mhm.
will have 208 years of knowledge,
Maybe
Yeah.
even more.
maybe more, because we don't really know how old Mr. Peanut
He
was.
didn't really
when he was
show
grown.
any signs of aging either. He was
No.
like still in his prime when he
Yeah.
died. So really
kinda-
don't know.
It's almost upsetting that a great nut like that.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of funny, but a great nut like that died so suddenly. And in that commercial, when they're both the people are like, "No, you let go, you kill yourself,"
Mhm.
and the other one's like, "No, you kill yourself." And then
Yeah.
they both,
Wesley
and then they're
Snipes
both like,
is one of them.
"No, do not kill yourself, Mr. Peanut."
Yeah, it's like Mr. Peanut.
And then they're like, "Mr. Peanut," and then they're like, "Maybe he'll be okay." And then
It
the
explodes.
nutmobile.
Mhm. I just have issue with the fact that it's the Kool-Aid Man's tear
I-
that resurrects.
I
him.
was actually just thinking about that, and I was gonna wait till you were done to
Mhm.
say that. But I also agree. Like, why was it the Kool-Aid Man? Like,
So
what
does
is
that
the
mean that
significance?
the Baby Nut is half Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
like if you crack open Baby Nut, will
they might
Kool-Aid
even
come
make
out?
a collab.
A collab.
Not Kool-Aid.
Ew, that sounds
That
gross.
would be awful.
That sounds so gross.
Maybe they can make like a
Peanut
peanut butter
flavored
and jelly like mix kind of thing.
Okay.
Kool-Aid jelly?
Think about it.
Maybe
Think
I'm gonna
about
get
it.
like a call and they're gonna say, "Would you like to work with Planters?"
Yeah, we need
Kool-Aid jelly actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, like I think that could happen.
Like peanut. What are they called?
Mis-
Planters. Planters
yeah.
peanuts, peanut butter.
Like a
With-
That's like a goober though. That's like what a goober is. Do you know what that is? Like the jar and it's peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
like,
but we also
swirled.
could make them like separate, like just like come.
Well, I wasn't saying make them together.
Oh, okay.
I was saying put them together, like
Oh.
in this collab.
Yeah.
Does Planters
we could have-
make a peanut butter?
Hey,
I
I
feel
don't-
like we could make a peanut butter
Well,
with Planters
yeah.
if we just get a hammer.
Like we just gotta talk to them. About
Hammer.
You know, just like
it. Now the jelly part is gonna be the issue. That's gonna be.
So when you say Kool-Aid jelly,
grape gel, like grape Kool-Aid flavor.
Yeah, like it's not like it's
I don't
a.
know how I feel about that.
Well, I think we'd have to create it before we can like
Like a prototype?
Yeah. Maybe make a
What are-
sandwich or two.
What are the ingredients, though?
Well,
Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid.
Jelly.
Jelly.
So you mix grape
Well,
Kool-Aid
no,
with
I
grape
really-
jelly?
Wait.
So in theory, it will taste like grape Kool-Aid, but be a jelly.
Okay,
Yes.
but the
Not-
problem is getting to that point.
Well, that's
How
not
do you
my
create-
problem.
Well, that's...
I'm not the.
Yeah,
I'm just the idea
okay,
man.
okay.
To quote Anthony LaRosa, I'm just the idea man. I don't need to worry
At
about.
the end
how
of the
it
day,
happens.
someone's definitely gonna know how
Remember,
to
he was talking about
construct
the. He was talking about the live stream. He was like, "We're gonna do a 4-hour live stream of Baby Nut.
Yeah.
I don't care how. I'm just the idea man. It's your job to figure out how."
Yeah, that's an idea. You should definitely pitch that to whatever company owns Kool-Aid and Planters Peanuts.
Chris,
Yes.
tell me something that you find to be funny.
That Seth Rogen guy, he's pretty funny.
Like, what about him though? It's just in general.
Well, I think it's cool he's Jewish.
Is he?
Yes, actually, he is Jewish. He actually lived in Canada up until he was 19, which is where he got his first acting job. He didn't do any acting prior to this, by the way. He was just like, he was right out of high school. He was like, I want to do something with my life, kind of thing.
Mhm.
He had his ideas in his head, but this is when he went. And I think the show is called like Guys and Dolls or something.
Oh.
Sorry.
Something along the lines
Yeah.
of that. And that was his first career, which is where he met a couple of his friends who he's with now, which is then when he started getting into more movies, which is when The 40-Year-Old Virgin came out, which is how he got the hookup for that, because that's his idea. He created
Really?
The 40-Year-Old Virgin. This was all in high school he made these. The 40
Oh, yeah,
Year Old
Superbad,
Virgin,
they wrote
Superbad,
Superbad.
Pineapple Express. All those movies were created.
Like they wrote them.
Yeah, like while he was in high school, from even some of his own experiences.
Mhm.
And I think that's really cool how he does that. And I also like, the way he carries himself. He carries himself very like you see him on the street and you'd be like, yeah, like he looks like he's got his life in check. He looks like he's doing what he loves.
Also, he's got that laugh. Like,
Oh, his laugh is very
I think he was in Donnie Darko. Do you ever seen that?
Donnie, like the Bunny movie.
Mm-hmm. I think
The
he was
Bunny
like
movie.
a very small part. Yeah, he was like
Really?
when he was really young.
Who was he in that?
He was just like one of the kids at the school.
Oh.
But yeah, Seth Rogen is he's cool. I also like a lot of animated TV shows. The
Oh.
animated TV shows are
But like adult animated.
yes,
Like Bob's Burgers.
Yes, Bob's Burgers, the Lucas Brothers Moving Company.
Now, I think you should. We don't have a ton of time left, but I think you should give a little shout out to that show because I don't think a lot of people know what that is.
Okay. So, the Lucas Brothers Moving Company, there's one season and it involves two black comedians, Keith and Kenny. Now, they look absolutely identical in every single episode, but the difference is that they have different colored sweatshirts and different colored hats. And now, they're just like these two movers who don't really like moving, but they move anyways, and they sometimes get jobs, they sometimes don't. They run into like crazy situations, and it's very good. It's only one season, sadly, and it's been taken off of Fox, which is very upsetting. But yeah,
What can you watch it on? What,
Hulu. You can watch it on Hulu, probably some other websites, but I just know of Hulu. And
I'm sure there's a best moments compilation on YouTube.
probably.
How did you find out about it?
Nick Johnson, actually. Surprisingly, Nick Johnson. And I fell in love with it the first episode. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I just enjoyed it very much. And I 100% recommend it for anyone who is listening.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. It's
I'm
good.
trying to think of what to title this episode. I feel like it might be Baby Nut.
Baby Nut or Band Camp?
I might put Chris Thorson and then in parentheses, poop.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be it.
Yeah, that's
I think.
Poop, baby.
Baby.
Chris
Baby
Thorson, parentheses, poop, baby.
Baby
Poop.
poop.
Baby poop nut.
Baby
nut.
Poop Nut. And that's it.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. As always, this is concentration. Thank you very much.
See ya.